You might not remember, but this is a guy who wasn't even drafted coming out of college in 2021. My question is, how the heck did we miss it? What was happening in Oklahoma that led scouts to believe he wasn't a top pick? I mean, if you redid the 2021 NBA draft, he's getting picked in the top 3 or 4, right? Well, I went back into the footage to figure that out while comparing that to what we saw last night, so let's get to it. 3-point shooting is a top-line stat, and he went 5 for 11 last night on a variety of shots, both catch and shoot and off the dribble. What's interesting about Reaves is that he started out at Wichita State shooting them well. He was the lights-out, knockdown floor spacer, and one reason was because 60% of them were catch and shoot. But he also utilized the hop way more often than he has since. It's unclear why he went away from lifting both feet in the air before propelling them down with one sound into the floor for a very springy jump and great rhythm up into the release. By the time he was an elderly 22-year-old senior at Oklahoma, he didn't hop much and took most of his threes as heavily contested off the dribble, hitting only 27% of them. That said, he was at 42% on catch and shoots, so the ability was still there. And one thing is for sure, he spent a lot of time battling through contact, as defenders could cut him off, and he had a good progression to his package, quick pulling this one-footed shot with a little fade and a lot of arc just to get it off, and more soft touch to coax it down. But I'm sure scouts saw possessions like this against a future NBA defender in Jericho Sims and figured he'd be outmatched on every possession. And while it was commendable that he could be slippery and consistently get 2 feet in the paint, there was plenty of evidence of finishes like this to make you wonder. Another thing I noticed, however, was that the refs in college seemed to allow a lot more contact on his drives than they do in the NBA. It was a little startling to see a bunch of these clips where the refs were letting them play, and the trick for an NBA scout would have been to extrapolate these to NBA courts and refs and figure out that he'd get those calls.